Cover legendary Pokemon tend to be some of the best. We have cover legendaries such as Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre on the cover of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, both of which dominated the VGC scene just a few years ago. We have Solgaleo and Lunala on the covers of Sun and Moon, who have been Ubers ever since they came out in Sun and Moon in late 2017. And my personal favorites, Xerneas and Yveltal, who are two of the best Pokemon in the entire game. In this video, we'll be focusing on Xerneas, which just so happens to be one of my favorite Uber Pokemon to use. I'll try and be as unbiased as possible, but keep that in mind throughout this video. Now, in case you guys are unfamiliar with how the Best Pokemon series works, we take a look at some of the best Pokemon in the game when it comes to competitive Pokemon, discuss what makes them so good, and if they're the best Pokemon out there or the best Pokemon in a specific category. Each Pokemon is rated on a scale 1 through 5 based on their offense, defense, versatility, Movepool, and overall viability. If a Pokemon excels in all of these categories, then it might just be the best Pokemon out there. It's also extremely important to keep in mind that this series is about competitive Pokemon battling, and competitive Pokemon battling is very different than battling in-game against gym leaders or battling against your friends using Pokemon you use to beat the story mode. If you are unfamiliar with how competitive Pokemon works exactly, I highly recommend you check out some of the resources in the description to help you out a little bit more. And of course, if you guys want to see a specific Pokemon featured in this Best Pokemon series, make sure you check out the full playlist in the description to see what Pokemon have been featured so far. And if I haven't used Pokemon you want to see yet, leave a comment down below letting me know. If you guys want to support the channel as well, make sure you leave a like down below as it helps the channel tremendously. And make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss a future upload. So taking a closer look at Xerneas, Xerneas is a mono fairy type Pokemon introduced in the 6th generation with the ability Fairy Aura. This ability is unique to Xerneas, and it boosts the power of all fairy type moves by 33%, making Xerneas' stab fairy moves incredibly strong. Xerneas has a stat distribution of 126 HP, 131 attack, 95 defense, 131 special attack, 98 special defense, and 99 in speed. These stats all around are pretty fantastic, with not a single stat being considered low by any means. I would say that Xerneas' worst stat would be its 99 in speed, which realistically really isn't all that bad. Xerneas' 95 in defense and 98 in special defense are complemented nicely by its high 126 base HP stat, which happens to be one of the highest HP stats in the entire game. 131 in both attack stats makes Xerneas a very potent offensive Pokemon as well on both the physical and special side, on top of its Fairy Aura ability increasing its stab fairy moves. This means that realistically you don't need a damage boosting item with Xerneas, since you'll do a lot of damage regardless. So moving on to the ratings, in terms of offense, I will give Xerneas a 5 out of 5. Having two very usable attack stats of 131 is fantastic, especially on top of that Fairy Aura ability like I've mentioned before. This allows Xerneas to be an extremely potent physical, special, or even mixed attacker. Xerneas is capable of being a bulky attacker as well thanks to its good defensive stats, or even a Scarf user thanks to its 99 speed, which isn't the highest, but it is a good speed stat for a Scarfer. If you put a Life Orb or some other damage boosting item on this Pokemon and go for a Fairy move, you will do insane amount of damage. In terms of defense, I will give Xerneas a 4.5 out of 5. Xerneas has a great defensive typing in Mono Fairy, meaning it's only weak to 2 types in Poison and Steel, which both can be covered up very nicely on your team with a good ground type Pokemon. But unfortunately, Xerneas doesn't have any form of reliable recovery, which slightly hurts its overall longevity and its overall defenses, which is the biggest reason why I can't give this Pokemon a 5. This means that if you want to recover health on Xerneas, you have to either go for Rest, which wastes some turns while you're asleep, or use another Pokemon with Wish and pass it to Xerneas so you can heal some health. Luckily, Xerneas does have access to the move Aromatherapy, which does help its overall longevity a little bit, meaning it can't be poisoned, paralyzed, or burned as easily. For versatility, I will give Xerneas a 5 out of 5 because Xerneas is just an incredibly versatile Pokemon as it can fulfill many roles like we have stated earlier. It can be a pure bulky attacker, a good Scarf offensive Pokemon, or a more defensive support Pokemon thanks to all of its support moves that it has access to. Xerneas can even be a great setup sweeper thanks to the move Geomancy, which leads me on to the Movepool portion of this video. For Movepool, I'll also give Xerneas a 5 out of 5. Xerneas has one of my favorite overall move pools in the game, largely due to its signature move Geomancy. Geomancy is arguably one of the strongest setup moves in the game, as it raises Xerneas' speed, special attack, and special defense by 2 stages, however it does require a turn to charge up. This charge up turn can easily be mitigated with an item such as the Power Herb to skip that charge up turn however. This does cost your item unfortunately, but it is well worth it considering how much damage Xerneas can do after you set up a Geomancy. As for the rest of Xerneas' Movepool, it has a fantastic special move pool with coverage moves such as Thunder, Grass Knot, Focus Blast, and Psychic to name a few, as well as some good physical coverage with Rock Slide, Mega Horn, Close Combat, and Zen Headbutt, and some very nice support options as well with Geomancy, Aromatherapy, Roar, both screens, and Defog. Xerneas has a fantastic overall move pool, and outside of the reliable recovery, there really isn't nothing that Xerneas is missing when it comes to its move pool. And for viability, I'll give Xerneas a 5 out of 5. Xerneas is the best Fairy-type Pokemon out there in my opinion, and I think that many people out there will agree. Geomancy is just far too good of a move to not use, which will scare your opponents when they see you have a Xerneas on your team. Xerneas is capable of filling so many different roles as well, that it can fit almost any team as long as it doesn't contribute too much to your overall weaknesses. In terms of some Xerneas sets you can use, first up we have a pretty basic Geomancy set from Smogon, which is Xerneas with the Power Herb, Fairy Aura ability of course, 168 defense, max special attack, 88 speed, modest nature, Geomancy, Moonblast, Thunder, and Focus Blast. This is a more bulky Geomancy set. You don't really need max speed with this thing because once you get a Geomancy up, your speed is increased by 2 stages anyway, and you should be able to outspeed most things in the game outside of some Choice Scarf users. You can argue that max special attack, modest, with the Moonblast is overkill, but this means you'll do even more damage to resistant Pokemon, which is very good. And Thunder and Focus Blast can be pretty much any other coverage moves that you see fit for your team. Most of the time you'll just click Geomancy and Moonblast, but it's nice to have 2 other moves in case you're in a pinch. For more defensive and support-based Xerneas, we have Xerneas with the Leftovers, Fairy Aura ability, 248 HP, 252 defense, 8 special defense, Bold Nature, Defog, Rest, Boomblast, and Toxic. Even though this set isn't invested offensively at all, you can still do a lot of damage with Moonblast and Fairy Aura, and you can do a great job at supporting your team thanks to moves like Defog and Toxic. Rest is there to heal you up a little bit. You can also cure status moves with that since Rest puts you to sleep and gets rid of things like Toxic. Although this move can easily be replaced with a move like Aromatherapy or any other support move you see fit. And finally, we have a pretty basic Scarf Xerneas set, which is Xerneas with the Choice Scarf, Fairy Aura ability, max special attack, max speed, Timid Nature, Moonblast, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Flash Cannon. Now with this Scarf set, you're probably just going to click Moonblast every time, but like I said with the other sets, you want to have those 3 coverage moves just in case. And that is pretty much it for Xerneas. Let me know what you guys think of Xerneas in the comment section down below for a chance to have your comment featured in the next best Pokemon video, like this comment right here. Personally, I think Xerneas is the best Fairy-type Pokemon out there right now, and it is easily one of the top 10 Pokemon overall when it comes to competitive battling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss a future upload. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys next time, and bye bye.